Welcome, this is Fanalysis on my biggest talk sports show on the internet. Yes, what a game of Champions League last night that we enjoyed. Saw the thrills from the goals, the comebacks for some, like Barcelona coming back, scoring 2 goals in 3 minutes just to take the lead and win the game over Sporting. But what is key and very critical is the Champions League game was super awesome last night. What do you think?
I think it was amazing. A lot of comebacks happened for a lot of teams. Bayern, Barca, Atalanta. What an amazing match day for the Champions League. Hopefully we can see various days such like this, and hopefully the Champions League can continue to produce better games.
And what would you have said? I mean, you're a Chelsea fan. How did you guys feel? You know, having Atalanta coming back, equalizing and actually taking a win.
I think there's a lot of words that can be said about that match. Different players, even the way Chelsea's head coach Enzo Maresca played, deciding on the tactics that he did was very, very hard. But all in all, I think it was a very disappointing watch for all Chelsea fans. But there's always green points like our defense. It's nice to see that players like Malo Gusto can still show up after this game week, and I hope that he does produce good performances like this throughout the season.
Awesome. And I think one of the biggest highlights for me yesterday was the Barcelona game. You see where Barcelona was 1 down for first half, and just a change of personnel, bringing in Rashford, and that was the biggest game changer for them. And I think that is critical, that a coach understands, his team understands how to read a game, and a super sub like the likes of Rashford, changed the entire game. And in 3 minutes, Barcelona scored 2 goals. One assist from Rashford, 1 assist from Lamine Yamal. And I think that was a beautiful game as well.
Very, very much so. Lamine Yamal showing up as much as he always does. Just Koundé, who's always been that right back, and I think last season with Barca's triumph over La Liga, he really showed that he was a right back that you should be putting in those conversations.
Absolutely.
It's just that earlier on this season with Barca's lackluster play, it was hard for you to see him like that. But I think overall a good match day for Barca, good match day for Jules Koundé.
Awesome. And of course, there was another big game yesterday, which was the Bayern game. Bayern was also 1 down from Sporting and came back to win 3-1. Champions League really gave us some treats yesterday, you know?
But I think with Bayern playing with the way that they do this season, is every game really a big game with the way that they move into teams and rush them and just continue to demolish teams
and score a lot of goals.
They are a wrecking ball to be not to be messed with, unless you are, of course, Arsenal FC.
No, but that also tells you the incredible work Vincent Kompany has done. Who would have thought that Kompany could have achieved the kind of greatness he's achieved with the team, the Bayern squad, and everything? And it does look like everybody plays for him. I think one other game we need to talk about is the Liverpool game. That is a big one.
Dominic Szoboszlai, as I've said, has become the saving grace of Liverpool FC. If it is not the constant pressure under Mo Salah, if it is not the overall lackluster defense of Konate and Virgil van Dijk, we still are blessed to witness the uproar which is Dominic Szoboszlai. I think personally he saved the Leeds game.
All right. I think when we come back, Liverpool becomes the subject.
turn of events coming from Mo Salah. This is a very big turn of events. This is a club that was nominated for Club of the Year at the Ballon d'Or season last season. A force to be reckoned with. They cleared out the Premier League before December. What a team. But it's also become what a team. What a downfall coming into the season.
I tell you, the big thing is, I mean, Salah was hoping he was going to play yesterday, but the club gave him the biggest shocker. They didn't even add him to the squad, so he didn't even travel with the club to Inter.
To be honest, I don't think that's anything surprising. Going into football, there's always been antics with different African players, but we've seen the downfall of Mo Salah, and it has been something horrible to watch, as not only as a football fan, but as definitely a Liverpool fan. That can be a very, very hard thing to watch. But we never know this climate at the club. You don't know who's wrong, who's right. Give me
All
your
right, but
opinion.
do you think Salah had handled this well? Because some people think he shouldn't have come out to the media to have that kind of an interview. He should probably have spoken to the coach. Now, but if I'm to defend Mo Salah, he did say he feels like the club had thrown him under the bus, and everybody think he is the problem. And there were other players who weren't pulling their weight in the team as well. So why was he the only one benched?
Like a lot of times before, I think even seeing former Liverpool legend Jamie Carragher said, with the loss to PSV and the mistake made by Konate, they still play him, and that is it's a terrible offense. But you don't see that as much in the media as you do Mo Salah. I think because of the multiple times that he has become Liverpool's saving grace, it is just horrible to see him fall, and that fall is mighty large. I think Mo Salah is not playing at his best, but the club's also very not trying to do anything to help him at all.
Because I also think other thing is this. There are many times that clubs and players will lose form. I just think he's not in form right now. And I think the media has mastered on how to, hit a player when they are down. It does look like everybody's forgotten who Mo Salah is and what he's done for the club Liverpool. But of course, the reality is whatever he's done is in the past. We're looking at today and the future. And the current state of things with Liverpool is that they are not in a good position, not in the league, not in Champions League. It does look like they might end up being a club who's just absolutely going to win nothing this season. And for the coach Arne Slot, I think this is a big test of his character, his coaching capacity, his competency, and his personality. What do you think?
I think this season, more than anything, has become a testing ground for new managers and for managers that have won. Shout out Hansi Flick, who was good last season and was made this Barca super team, but then had a fall off. I think we've seen that also with Arne Slot, but at a massive scale. To see the Giants come down is something very, very horrible to see. It's just a horrible witness. Every game week, I think you go in seeing Liverpool are going to lose. And I think from last season, that the downfall and drop off that you saw of Man City, they've actually gotten
Better.
The Man City have gotten better, but Liverpool, they're more consistent with their losing.
I mean, the stats I saw that Liverpool's lost 10 games this season.
That's horrible.
Drawn 3 and only won 5.
Mind you, the first 5 games they were undefeated.
I see. So we're going to see what Liverpool is going to turn out to be. Let's see what Mo Salah's move will be between this December and the January transfer. Maybe we've actually seen Mo Salah's game for Liverpool, or we are yet to see one more game for Mo Salah.
Man City and Real Madrid are coming in with the clash of the Royals, clash of the Giants, clash of the two leagues and the two best players that you can think of, Kylian Mbappe and Haaland. What do you think about this magnificent game?
My fear today is I think Man City might just end up wallowing Real Madrid. You know why? Because I don't know which of the Real Madrid team is going to turn up today. In the last couple of games we've discovered, you have games where the likes of Vinny Jr. is not turning up. Sometimes even Jude Bellingham is not turning up. And sometimes even Mbappe is not turning up. Or when they even turn up, then there's a problem at the defense. And if you look at the entire squad, there's been a lot of injuries, quite a lot of injuries. So I don't know how they are going to match up the energy, the force that Man City will be bringing today. But this is a game of football. Anything can happen.
It's insane to me to think that of the 4 times that they've played, Real Madrid have won 3 and they've drawn once. Man City are
Yet to beat them.
Yet to beat them of
Okay.
the 4 recent times that they've played. But I think that is going to change, and you can even quote me on this. With Man City's recent run of form, I have yet to see a player come back with such velocity as Phil Foden. And I think for all of you FPL fans right there, it is magnificent. It is compulsory for you to have him back on your team. He won PL Player of the Year 2 seasons ago, and I think he'll be instrumental making link-up plays with Haaland. Kylian Mbappe and Haaland are both massive stars, front runners for the Ballon d'Or in multiple people's eyes. But I think that Haaland is going to come with more velocity. But let's not forget Kylian Mbappe, who single-handedly won the game against Olympiacos.
I mean, the same. My fear today is that, remember, each of these big games creates a kind of mentality for these squads. And if you look at the historical data, Real Madrid has beaten Man City 3 times and they've only had 1 draw. So the likelihood that Man City will come up on top today is 1 over 2. The reason being that the Real Madrid team will want to keep their record going and they will want to play all their heart out. And I think it's also another big test for Alonso, because as a coach, I think he's been struggling to kind of get his dressing room in order, where he positions himself as the core leader, not just as a coach, but as a manager of these big egos, because that's the biggest problem right now in Real Madrid. There are 3 massive egos in Real Madrid. There is Bellingham, there is Mbappe, and there is Vinny Jr. Okay? So what do you now think, based on this historical data, in the last 3-4 times they've met, Real Madrid has been the best of the team winning? Do you think the Haaland of today, Pep Guardiola and a squad of today can turn things around and break that spell of Real Madrid over them?
I think that Pep Guardiola, when he enters the dressing room, especially with the Man City that he is built from the ground up, 7 Premier Leagues or possibly more, with a treble-winning team, he is, in my opinion, the star of the dressing room. He controls every single player, and I think him and Xabi Alonso will be trying to debate who can control this one.
What's your prediction for tonight's game?
2-0.
2-0. I say 2-2. All right. Join us daily on Might, now showing on Nexsq.